states across the U.S. are removing mask mandates as COVID cases continue to decline. Also, U.S. European allies are negotiating for peace and preparing for a possible war as tensions continue between Russia and Ukraine. This is News 3 Now at noon. New at noon, UW health providers, staff, students, and volunteers will now be required to get a COVID booster shot. UW Health announced a vaccine requirement last year and saw a positive response. About 96% of the health system staff is now vaccinated. All those eligible must receive a booster by May 2nd. Otherwise, they may be subject to termination of employment. People who have a documented medical condition that prevents vaccinations or religious convictions can file for an exemption. There's some good news on the COVID-19 front. The Department of Health and Human Services says hospitalizations have dropped below 100,000 for the first time in more than a month. Right now, COVID patients are using around 99,900 beds. About 3 weeks ago, more than 160,000 beds were occupied. Overall, about 1 in 7 hospital patients are there for COVID-19, and 18,000 are in the intensive care unit. According to the CDC, nearly 4.4 million people have been hospitalized with COVID-19 since the start of the pandemic. As COVID cases continue to decline, more states are dropping their mask mandates. Bradley Blackburn has the latest.
New York is poised to become the latest state to end mask mandates for most indoor public places.
Fantastic idea. They need to get rid of the mask mandate as soon as possible.
Personally, I would keep my mask on, because there's all these sorts of different variants still, emerging, and, we just have to stay safe.
Governors across the country are expressing a desire for a more normal way of life. Dropping the most visible public health measure comes as average COVID case numbers are down 69% from a peak of more than 800,000 on January 15th. But the CDC says other metrics are still too high.
We still have hospitalization rates that are higher than they ever were during the peak of our Delta wave, and similarly for deaths, still at 2,300 a day.
The CDC continues to recommend universal masking in schools regardless of vaccination status. School mask mandates will expire soon in New Jersey and Connecticut, despite the CDC guidance. In many areas of the country, it's up to local school authorities.
For Indiana, it's definitely too soon. It's great that our numbers are coming down, but we're basically looking at where we were at the beginning of December, and that's still really high.
Another reminder the pandemic's not over. The youngest Americans aren't yet eligible to be vaccinated. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
And Pfizer is working to get its COVID-fighting pill used in more people. Paxlovid is currently authorized to treat COVID-19 in high-risk people 12 years old and older. Pfizer is planning to study the drug in children ages 6 to 18 starting sometime this quarter. The pharmaceutical giant is also awaiting full approval from the FDA on the pill for the group it's currently authorized to treat. The company says it expects that decision in the second half of this year. Meanwhile, in Canada, anger over vaccine mandates has led to escalating protests by truckers, including at the border with the U.S. In Ottawa, hundreds of truckers are blocking the roads around Parliament in Canada's capital city, demanding an end to vaccine mandates. The city's police chief says he needs another 1,800 officers to help keep the peace. Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau condemned the protests, accusing the protesters of undermining Canadian democracy.
The people of Ottawa don't deserve to be harassed in their own neighborhoods.
We're going to sit here as long as it takes. The problem is they don't want to talk to us right now.
There are now reports of a similar protest being planned in the United States, a large convoy from Sacramento to Washington, D.C. Let's head to the Weather Center now. Julian Seawright has a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Warm, but kind of cloudy.
That's right. It's kind of cloudy, and we are starting to see some flurries popping up in the area as we get in throughout the rest of our afternoon. Taking a look ahead, that's exactly what we're going to be seeing throughout the next few hours as well. Some isolated flurries that will be sticking around, but the temperatures will be pretty warm for this time of year as we're into those upper 30s throughout the majority of the day. But here's what we're seeing on our radar. As I mentioned, we are looking at some light flurries around Dane County, especially just about north of Madison. But specifically looking at some light snow just to the west of Dane County as we're continuing throughout the rest of our noon hour. And we're going to be looking at that trend throughout the course of today and going into the early part of tonight as well. But we'll get into that in a few moments. Until then, temperatures, as we mentioned, are definitely warm for right now. 39 degrees in Janesville, 37 into Platteville as of right now. But we are breezy as we are into those teens and upper teens and even 24 miles per hour winds over in Monroe with 17 miles per hour winds in Platteville. So definitely a breezy day for us, but those temperatures are going to be feeling like they're into the 20s and lower 30s, but still pretty pleasant throughout the course of our day. Temperatures will hold steady throughout the rest of the day as well until we get into tonight, but we'll talk more about that snow chance coming up in a few moments, Mark.
All right, Julian, we'll see you then. Thank you. A Fitchburg man was arrested after fleeing the scene during a traffic stop. UW-Madison police say the 35-year-old was pulled over for driving the wrong way on a one-way street around 2 o'clock this morning. He then allegedly drove away from the stop and crashed at Campus Drive and Babcock Drive before fleeing on foot. Officers eventually arrested the man 2 blocks away from the scene. The man resisted arrest and threatened officers and their families. He's now in the Dane County Jail awaiting charges. Madison police are investigating an armed robbery at Blaine's Farm in Fleet. It happened at the store on South Stoughton Road, that is. Officers arrived on scene around 9 o'clock last night. Employees said the suspect waved what appeared to be a handgun at them when they tried to stop him from leaving. Police are still looking for the suspect. Right now, firefighters continue to battle an apartment fire in Oklahoma. At least 80 firefighters were first called to the scene just after 7 o'clock last night. The building is in development and was expected to open soon. Firefighters say rubber materials on the roof caused the fire to spread. Parts of the building have collapsed, and crews worry more areas could crumble. No injuries have been reported. Fire officials still trying to determine what caused the fire. In Europe, U.S. allies are negotiating for peace and preparing for a possible war. French President Emmanuel Macron met with Ukraine's president yesterday and said the standoff with Russia could go on for weeks and months. At the same time, NATO forces hoping to encourage Russia not to invade Ukraine are holding a series of war games in nearby Estonia. U.S. forces have started arriving in Poland to help out with the situation. The White House has approved a plan for the nearly 2,000 troops to help Americans who might want to try to leave Ukraine if Russia invades. Officials say U.S. forces are not currently authorized to enter Ukraine itself. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon.
The pandemic response plan from CVS pays off, and there's a good reason to throw a pizza party today. I'm Diane King Hall at the CBS Broadcast Center. Of those stories and more in your CBS Money Watch report.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon.
Rest comfortably with brands you can trust at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Create a unique and stylish room with made-in-the-USA products from companies like Smith Brothers of Bern. Select from a wide variety of sofas at a great price.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Another injury claim.
Another denial.
What's the status of that car accident?
Denied it this morning.
Good. Not a fan of paying high medical bills.
Our doctor totally came through.
Good. Let's make sure we do the same thing on the next one.
Denying. It's what we do.
They called the law offices of Hupy and Abraham.
Should we settle this one?
Call Hupy and Abraham right now. Tell the insurance company you mean business.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Habitat for Humanity of Dane County continues to help hardworking families attain homeownership. By providing financial coaching, homeowners can manage their mortgage and other finances while building stability for their family. Strengthen our community. Support Habitat Dane County.
If you stutter on the phone, speech-to-speech is for you.
Hi, Nihada. This is Andy Smith, and I was calling to see if our home loan has been approved.
A specially trained operator revoices the conversation to the person on the other end of the line.
Hi, Nihada. This is Andy Smith, and I was calling to see if our home loan has been approved.
Oh, Andy, we have great news. You've been approved for the full amount.
To learn more about speech-to-speech relay service, go to wisconsinrelay.com.
Experience handcrafted and hand-finished furniture by genuine Amish craftsmen at Wanakee Furniture ETC, featuring hardwood made in the USA home furnishings by Simply Amish and other great brands you can trust.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
CVS is out with its quarterly report card today, and the nation's biggest drugstore chain earned $1.3 billion during the fourth quarter. That was better than expected thanks to demand for COVID-19 tests and vaccines. The chain administered more than 20 million vaccines during the last 3 months of 2021. Johnson & Johnson has temporarily stopped production on its COVID-19 vaccine. The New York Times reports the drug maker quietly shut down operations last year at a plant in the Netherlands where the doses were manufactured. A spokesperson said the company has millions of vaccine doses in inventory and it will continue to serve developing nations. Higher menu prices aren't hurting Chipotle. The company says sales rose to almost $2 billion in its fourth quarter. Profit fell to $133 million as it paid more for beef, avocados, and shipping. The company also boosted employee wages during the period. And today marks National Pizza Day. To celebrate, Yelp is looking for its first ever chief pizza officer. The role is for 6 months and the pay is $25,000. Job duties include trying out different pizza spots every month. Video applications are being accepted through February 28th. A winner will be chosen next month. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Diane King Hall.
Thank you, Diane. Let's check Wall Street. The Dow is up 245 points. The NASDAQ up 213. The S&P 500 up 51. Well, if you own a Hyundai or Kia, listen up. Certain models are spontaneously catching fire. A recall has been issued for about 350,000 Hyundai Santa Fe and Tucson SUVs, and Kia is recalling about 125,000 K900 sedans and Sportage SUVs. The problem is with the anti-lock brake computer control module. It can short circuit and cause a fire. Dealers need to inspect the vehicles to see if they need any new parts at no cost to the owner. To check if your vehicle is involved in the recall, contact a Kia dealer or the company's customer service department. A baby formula shortage is having some families scrambling. Drugstore chain Walgreens is alerting its customers about an isolated formula shortages at its stores nationwide in November. It said it's still facing tight inventory. An Amazon spokesperson said it's working closely with its vendors to get formula products back in stock as quickly as possible. And Walmart said any shortages of formulas at its stores were related to capacity issues on the manufacturing end. There's still more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Pam Yankee has your daily egg numbers. And the U.S. strikes gold in Beijing. Plus, could we see some snow throughout the rest of the week? Your complete forecast just ahead.
Hello, I'm Roman Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. As a locally owned and operated funeral home, it's important to know that not all funeral homes are the same. Some other Madison area funeral homes are actually owned by corporations based outside of the United States. A corporately owned funeral home is focused on the bottom line, making services more costly. We have served local families for more than 80 years, and our priority is investing in the community and your family. In your time of need, Ryan Funeral Homes are here for you.
Guys,
Ladies, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction, Peak Performance for Men has a natural solution that can help you today. That's right. Stop wasting money on pills and inferior technology that hurts and just masks your ED. Fix it for good. The best part, our ED treatment is non-invasive, painless, and you can get back to your natural functionability after just a few short in-office sessions. Call us today and mention this ad, and your initial consultation is free. We are Madison's trusted specialist and only national erectile dysfunction provider. Call Peak Performance for Men today.
Whether you have a design emergency or you just want to shop the best furniture showroom in town, you need Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret for design and furniture. Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Tomorrow morning, we're breaking down coronavirus headlines. A local health expert weighs in on topics, including whether it's safe to start relaxing current mask requirements.
And we start to track that next chance for snow moving our way. That's tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
News 3 Now is always on.
Get the Channel 3000 app, activate the push alerts, and we will send you breaking news, traffic, and weather alerts as it happens.
The Channel 3000 app. Get it now.
Powered by News 3 Now.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Let's check in now with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report. Is some flakes starting to fall in southern Wisconsin?
Oh, really? I haven't been close to a window. I was getting all excited when you started talking about National Pizza Day. Now, obviously, that speaks to the farm babe's heart.
I think so. I think we should all celebrate.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, it's not just about National Pizza Day today, but it's also about the upcoming Super Bowl celebrations, Mark. Obviously, Wisconsin's dairy industry getting ready to capitalize on that. Remember, Wisconsin's one of the leaders when it comes to the cheese that will be on that pizza. Some of our pizza providers are actually labeling their pizzas if it has Wisconsin-exclusive products or features Wisconsin products. That is a margin addition for them. They find that premium cheese that can be credited to Wisconsin gets a premium price from their customers and also gets more attention from the customers, according to research. Now, as far as this weekend in the Super Bowl, cheese is going to be a big winner. It's expected that Americans are going to purchase 25 million pounds of cheese for the big game coming up, Super Bowl Sunday. And obviously, that's a lot of Wisconsin cheese. They say that's enough to fill the field at SoFi Stadium 25 times with Wisconsin cheese. So this is a busy, busy time of the year for our Wisconsin cheesemakers. You know, I was thinking about this weather, too. A lot of people starting to think probably about their spring planting plans, not just farmers. How about you gardeners? I was just talking with Nathan Zondag, who is president and CEO of Jung Seed right here in Wisconsin. And he said they ran into some supply chain issues with even some of the seeds they're looking at this year. They buy their seeds from around the world. Tomato seeds, for example. About 25 of the 600 varieties of tomato seeds they deal with, we're still facing some supply chain issues. Barrel cheese today down 3 1/4 at 185 3/4. 40-pound block cheese unchanged. Double A butter up 2 1/2 today at 253 1/4 per pound. And just in case anybody wondered, we had a World Ag Supply Demand report today. Flat line as far as market reaction. Not much of a zinger out there for World Ag Supply Demand report. So we'll go with the zinger that a Super Bowl will bring to Wisconsin's dairy industry.
Yes, a lot of cheese fill the stadium.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty amazing, too, when you think about it.
All right, Pam, thank you.
Yep.
Well, Team USA has finally struck gold at the Winter Olympics. Lindsay Jacobellis won the women's snowboard cross overnight, 16 years after losing a gold medal in the same event. Other big names in the U.S. camp are having mixed results. Jamie Yukas is at the Games in Beijing.
After competing in 5 Olympic Games, snowboarder Lindsay Jacobellis is a gold medal winner, a first in the Games for Team USA. She dominated the cross event to become the oldest American woman to win an Olympic Winter Games gold medal at 36 years old. Snowboarders Chloe Kim and Shaun White are in medal contention after their qualifying runs in the halfpipe. This is 35-year-old White's last Olympics, and he's making it pretty entertaining. He fell midway through his first qualifying run, leaving his last Olympic hopes on an all-or-nothing second try. Guess what? He nailed that second run. He finished in 4th place, but one thing's for sure, never count out Shaun White. However, another disappointment for Michaela Schifrin, who is disqualified for a second time, this time in what's considered her best event, the slalom. She has 3 events left. If she enters those events, Schifrin is just 1 gold medal away from having the most ever by an American alpine skier. Jamie Yuka, CBS News, Beijing.
And snowboarder Shaun White will compete for gold this Friday. Let's check back with Julia now for a complete look at the forecast.
Well, as we're getting things rolling for the rest of our afternoon, we are starting to see just a little bit of some light flurries or even some snowfall here in southern Wisconsin. Even though the flurries that we were seeing in Dane County over the past hour, still just very isolated, not very widespread as we're continuing throughout the rest. But what we are looking at is the rest of this afternoon. We're going to continue this trend of isolated areas to see some flurries or even some snow showers throughout the course of the day. As we go into the rest of tonight, after dinner time, we are going to be looking at a bit more of some snowfalls to start rolling in for us. But just take note, these temperatures are staying steady until we get into the later part of the overnight hours. Then we're going to finally dip into some teens and into the lower 20s, transitioning into our Thursday morning. But it's going to be pretty quiet. We're not looking at much activity throughout the start of our Thursday morning or even around lunchtime. But as we get into the evening, that's when we're going to see the 5 p.m. commute won't be too bad. But as we get into our Thursday nights after dinner times, we're starting to wind down. Another wave of some light snowfall is going to make its way across southern Wisconsin and is going to carry into the overnight hours. However, with some warmer air above or aloft, we are going to start to see a bit of that mixture once again with some freezing rain that could create some icy conditions transitioning into the Friday morning. But we are looking for more mild temperatures again as we head into Friday morning. As you can see, we're already going to be into those middle and upper 30s in southern Wisconsin into our Friday morning commutes, but still we're looking at some light snowfall or even some light rain to be continuing throughout before tapering off as we get into the rest of our Friday morning. As of right now, we are looking for the events from today into the end of Friday when the snow is going to be all said and done. It's possible to be seeing about 1 to 2 inches of snow around Dane County in areas in southern Wisconsin. However, into the north, they're going to be looking a bit more into around 2 to 4 inches range. Nothing too crazy, but still, we haven't seen a lot of accumulations in the past while, so it would be nice to see a little bit from this event. Now, as we get into our current conditions right now, it's 38 degrees, still holding on to that cloud cover here in Madison, but temperatures have seen a pretty good increase over the last 24 hours. Not double digits like we're accustomed to, but still 5 to 6 degree increases is still pretty nice for us. Temperatures 39 degrees in Janesville with 37 in Platteville, and as we can see from those wind speeds, still on the breezier side throughout southern Wisconsin with 20 miles per hour winds in Platteville with 10 miles per hour winds over into Madison. So as we're playing out the rest of today, just know we are going to see a bit more flurries as we continue throughout the afternoon and for tonight. But our 3 things we're going to need to know is that we're going to be seeing more mild temperatures throughout today and heading into Friday, but the cold will return as we head into our weekend and for the next work week as well. And that's what we're going to see from our 10-day forecast. We are looking at still some light snow at night from Thursday carrying into our Friday morning, but then we're going to dry out, have a chance of seeing some more snow heading into Sunday, but temperatures are back to cold as we see 13s, 20s to start off the weekend and getting into the new work week, but then we're going to be back to some more mild temperatures with those middle 30s. So still we are continuing the trend of a roller coaster of a winter, Mark.
And the worst driving conditions may possibly be?
Morning time.
Tomorrow morning?
Yeah, over the overnight hours. Yeah, so Friday morning we're looking at that freezing rain to be the worst possible time. So potentially going to have to make some extra time for the morning for that.
Keep an eye on that. Yeah. All right, Julian, thank you. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Today, we're sharing the answer to the most important question of the day. What are you making for dinner? Stick around, because it's a tasty one.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I am so looking forward to this.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Any first item removed? Just $89.
How much money have you wasted trying to find the right shade of foundation to match your skin tone? You end up with so many unused bottles, yet you can't bear to throw them out. Now, there's Color Beauty Self-Adjusting Foundation, which means you'll never search for the perfect shade again.
It's really difficult for me to find a good tone foundation. I usually purchase about 3 or 4 and sometimes mix them. Color Beauty is a game changer in finding the right foundation. You put it on your skin and it transforms into your own skin tone.
The Color Beauty foundation is so simple to put on. My skin looks great and it just looks awesome.
The key to the innovative Color Beauty formula is tiny color beads that release and blend to perfectly match your skin tone as you apply it. The foundation is white when it comes out of the bottle, but when I begin to apply it, it adjusts to blend perfectly with the color of my skin.
My biggest problem area is my cheeks right here. Color Beauty feels really light on my skin, and I can tell that it is pretty full coverage, so it looks like I don't have too much foundation on, but it is covering all my acne scars like I was saying before. I actually really love it.
It's weightless and it's full coverage, and also it literally just matches my skin as soon as I put it on. It's no work. I've never experienced a foundation like this.
Color Beauty only comes in 2 colors, light and medium. If you have fair skin or you burn easily, go with the light. If you have darker skin, go with the medium. Plus, with an SPF of 50, they're getting the highest level of sun protection in a lightweight formula. And best of all is Color Beauty's exclusive special. Order this Valentine's Day and get 40% off. That means you'll get the color adjusting foundation, the skin smoothing primer, and the fan favorite lash enhancer for thicker, longer looking lashes at 40% off. Plus, get free shipping. Visit color40.com or call the number on your screen.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I am so looking forward to this.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Any first item removed? Just $89.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, there are more than 327 million people living in the U.S. And I'd be willing to bet that more than half of them don't have any idea what they're making for dinner tonight. Now, you know, I don't expect 163 million people to head over to our website for today's recipe, but I hope you do. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's easy, budget-friendly, and tastes amazing. To start, all we do is combine some water with an envelope of onion soup mix, some vegetable oil, a little lime juice, a bit of ground red pepper, Italian seasoning, and a good amount of garlic powder. Once it comes to a boil, we stir in some boneless, skinless chicken breasts that we cut into half-inch strips. Now, we let this simmer for a few minutes, then we toss in a package of frozen mixed vegetables. At this point, all we need is a few more minutes for the chicken to cook through and the veggies to heat up. Then, it's done. And don't forget to throw on a pot of rice to serve this over so you don't lose any of that flavorful onion sauce. If you didn't know what you're having for dinner tonight, well, now you do. To get the recipe for our skillet chicken and veggies, just visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a winter dinner way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. Here's Julian, one final look at the weather.
Well, we are going to be seeing some light flurries throughout the course of our Wednesday, but the real thing that we're going to be keeping our eye on is going to be our next snowmaker going into our Thursday night. That will cause a bit of some headaches potentially as we get into our Friday morning, because we're going to see that snow and or freezing rain carry over into the overnight hours and to early Friday morning as well. So that will be the one time for Friday morning specifically where traffic or even traveling for the morning commutes could be a bit of a headache. So aside from that, though, we are going to be drying out heading into the weekend, but the cold will return as well. So prepared for more of that Wisconsin chill as we head into the weekend, Mark.
Well, it is February. It's expected. February. All right, Julian, thank you. Thank you for watching. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.